Oh, one second. Okay, MTGO. This is a cool game. Alright, I keep it because I have early lock, early hand disruption, and spell skite will keep me alive. I wasn't sure what my opponent was playing here until I played my lantern and saw Fusion Crab on top. Well, looks like we blackmail. This is all about whether or not I can get Academy Ruins into play and have it stay in play. I grabbed the Phantasm because that's really the real threat. I do have to. There was a what's the name of that card? Archive Trap in hand. So I do have to worry about that as far as instant speed mill goes. And I need to get an Academy Ruins. Fortunately, my opponent milled me into one. I mean, even if my opponent didn't, I'm gonna have the 5 mana I need to recur one with Codex Shredder. So my opponent did make a mistake there and played the main phase. Wait, no, did he do it yet? Nope, not yet. There, has the Archive Trap in hand, Archive Trap on top. Plays main phase Archive Trap. Should have saved it to wait until after I had 0 cards left in library and for me to Ruins and then do Archive Trap. But it didn't matter because I'd already planned for that contingency. What I had planned on was mill Archive Trap, sack Shredder, get Surgical Extraction, Surgical Extract, Archive Trap, force my opponent to play it before I use Ruins, and then have the lock from there. And survive via recurring cards from Ruins over and over and over. Opponent decides to play it out for a while. I'm guessing my opponent thinks that eventually I'll mill him or her into a relevant card. I'm not going to let them have any fetch lands or any instant speed draw or anything, or instant speed mill or anything like that. And I have plenty of artifacts to recur from my graveyard, and even if I run, quote unquote, run out of artifacts, I can just recur Mox Opals and let them die off because of the legendary rule, and recur them over and over. So, I'm not going to lose here. So I guess they were hoping that I would time out at that point. But I mean, you can see milling 5 cards a turn, and then 6 cards a turn, and then 7 cards a turn, and so on. So it goes pretty quick. MTGO's having trouble keeping up. Draw needle, play needle, name abandoned hope. Pass turn. Yeah, opponent concedes. My opponent was playing white, so I expected Stony Silence. This is questionable because I knew Stony Silence would shut off my Opal, but I kept it because I had that seal, and if I get a green mana, I should be okay. I am really afraid of Stony Silence here, but do what you can. I mill there because I'm hoping to get a Surgical Extraction target. What's really cool here is the opponent plays Urborg. That makes my Ghost Quarter tap for black. So now I can Inquisition, and I see 3 Surgicals in my opponent's hand. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna Surgical my opponent Surgical Extractions, and then so in response, my opponent just figures, hey, I'll get something out of it. So my opponent decides to Surgical Extraction the only card that the only target they have, and that's my Inquisition. So it does grab an Inquisition out of my hand, but whatever. That gives me This gives me a really good look at my opponent's library. So I write down all the threats that I need to be aware of. So, Stony Silence, 3 surgicals, followed up with Kataki. It's getting pretty good for my opponent here. No point in me paying for Opal and Shredder, so I just let him die. I get the green mana I need for Seal, but no point in me stacking it now. Can't do anything with it. Stirrings, grab a Glimmer Void, because I'm going to need mana to survive Kataki. And I notice my opponent has 0 cards in hand, so if I can get an early lock, I win. So there's a Lantern, and I have Shredder, so now I get Lantern, and I just gotta get this to survive 1 turn. Hey, there's a Rest in Peace my opponent gets. It doesn't do too much against me yet. I can just pay for my artifacts and take some hits from Kataki until I can land a bridge. Kataki does slow me down a bit, but now, again, my opponent is Hubbard. I can just keep my opponent off of stuff. So, draw bridge. Yeah. Opponent tries to Ghost Quarter me, so I'm gonna get my land. Paying for my artifacts. I have to play Needle this turn, or else Kataki will swing under bridge. So I play Needle and then Abandon Hope. I do not pay for Needle. I can take 1 more hit from Kataki, and then I can just play a bridge. And still keeping my opponent off of threats. So there's bridge. There's an Ether Grid on top, so now I can get rid of Kataki. And go ahead and play that Opal. I tap the Opal for mana and then sack it. The Opal will let me will give me the mana. I free up my mana so I can play Ether Grid during my main phase. And then kill Kataki. And so now things are good. I have luck, and I even have ways to kill my opponent's Hedron crabs. So, yeah, the game is pretty much over at this point. I have a pretty decent clock, bolt every single turn. So long as my opponent has a dead card on top. And my opponent can use the fetch lands to try to shuffle up some stuff and draw something relevant, but I have 2 Shredders and 2 Lanterns there, so everything's alright. Plus, every time my opponent uses a fetch, pause right there. Every time my opponent uses a fetch, it decreases their life, so I can, makes it so I'm going to kill them a little bit quicker. Here, I Ghost Quarter myself to shuffle myself up, because I do not need a land on top, and I want to hurry this up a little bit. And I draw into an Abrupt Decay, so now I got rid of Stony Silence, so I have Academy of Ruins going for me. It doesn't really matter if my opponent draws mill cards against me. And my opponent fetched too many times, and now I can just burn them out, and my opponent concedes.